going through how you can edit your scanned images. So to open this image, I've just right-clicked and clicked Open with Photoshop, or you can go to File, wrong program, File, Open, and then open up the document. So here we have it here. We can see it here on the layers on the side. You can see maybe my desktop is a little bit different than yours. If you are missing any of these tools, you can go into Window up the top and see layers is right there. If I unclick it, it might look like something like this, and go back to layers and click it, and then we can see them again. This goes for any of the tools as well. If at any point you're missing something, you can just go up and have a look for it. What we're going to do is just make a copy of this one so we can edit that top one and keep our original. We're going to try and remove this background and make them individual shapes so they're easy to edit and also easy to put into Illustrator and Control. A couple of students have seen this and told me, oh look, it's removed background, like it's really quick and easy to do. So I'm just going to show you what happens if we do this. You can see it's removed a good deal of a lot of our vegetables and a lot of information. So this is just really quick to subtract. It also created a masking tool, and this is not what we want to do. So if you make a mistake, you can just press Control Z, or because I'm on a Mac, Command Z. You can see the shortcuts are going to come up here at the top while I'm working. So anytime it says Command, it's actually Control for PCs. So what I'm going to do now is show you the tool we're going to be using here. So it's the object selection tool is the first way I'm going to show you. You can do this. If you have like a laptop that has a slower processing that might be a bit old, this might be a little bit too advanced for it, but all I've done there is clicked on it. And we can see if we zoom in, so Control plus or Command plus to zoom in, and space bar to hold and click and drag. We can see these sort of dotted ants walking around our shape, so I know that's what it's selected. I can also come here to this tool here, so the Edit Quick Mask Mode. And what this does is everything that's red is not selected and everything I can see is. So this will be good if like maybe it picked up some of these smudgy purple bits or there's areas I don't want. So I can go Control or Command plus to zoom in. And here there's maybe a little fuzzy bit that I don't want. I can go to the brush tool here, or to B for shortcut, and I can come in and paint over that. If I accidentally make a mistake, then remember I can go Control Z, Command Z on a Mac. I can also, if I make a wrong smudge, come here to the eraser. It's E on your keyboard as well for a shortcut for the eraser, and I can just erase. That also is the same if a little bit has come in here. Let's go back to the brush. If you want to make your brush bigger, you can come here and increase the size. If you want to have a bit more of a fuzzy outline, you can reduce the hardness. If you want a very hard line, we can increase that. You can see it's a firmer line, not as fuzzy. We can just go through and fix that up. Anything that we want to remove. Command minus or Control minus to zoom out. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I can click the masking tool as well, just to send it back into this, and I can see here that it's selected. Once you have this selected and you're happy with it, I'm going to press Command or Control X, and what that does is it cuts it out. So when I press Command or Control V, it pastes it. Use the Move tool here. It's just the V on your keyboard if you need to move it. And then we can go here that it is on its own layer and it's separate. So all we need to do is continue to go through all of them until we have all of them selected. So I'll just do one more to show you another way we can select. If your computer is maybe not working fast enough and the processing is a bit slow to be able to do that one, we can also do the quick selection tool. So click and drag if you want to add an additional area like this. I'm going to hold shift at the same time that I click on this area. So see, it has selected this. This doesn't use AI processing to kind of find it. So it does work a little bit quicker if your laptop is having trouble processing. The same thing, going in, Control plus, Command plus, I can see there's some bits it's missed and I'm not too happy with it. I'm going to go here to the quick masking tool and I can see those areas. So then I'll come back in with my brush and refine it. Remember, we want these to be really neat because they are going to affect our final result and the presentation of our work. So like this is probably a bit choppy. If I want to zoom in even more and my brush is too big, so I can just resize it. Close bracket and open bracket. Want to get really fine and detailed. And anywhere here where I've gone too far, again, it's the E for erase. I can see it's a bit too fuzzy and I'm not too happy with that. I want a crisper line. I'm going to Control Z. Remember how we changed the hardness of our brush here? I'm going to increase the hardness. Oops, too big. Just going to make that smaller again. And there we go, neatened up. So I'm just going to go through just so I'm going quickly. I'm going to remove that quick masking tool. Yep, I'm happy with everything that's selected. Again, we're doing the same thing, Command X and Command V, and it's pasted on a new layer. So once you've done all your layers, I'm just going to do these two for now. You can see they're finished. And what I want to do is play with the colouring a bit because maybe I want to make them brighter, etc. So making sure you're selected on the appropriate layer that you want to work on. Come to the top and go Image Adjustments. There's a few different ones. You can have a play, but the one that I think is going to be the most useful is Hue Saturation. So something we can do is we can play around with the hue so you can go really crazy. If you think maybe your just say your eggplant is maybe the wrong color, like you're not quite happy with it, you can bump it out and bump it closer to the blue, or maybe you can make it more into the red. Just be mindful here that it also edits the top. So if I only wanted to edit this part, I can use this tool again. So this blob selection tool, the quick selection tool, click and drag it. It's selected the whole thing, okay? I want to be more specific where I want to select. So the quick masking tool, come back in with a brush, make it a bit bigger. Just going to do this quickly. You'll do it with more finesse and zoom in. So yep, selected it, and then we're going to open that quick selection. It selected just the purple part, and then we can go to Image Adjustments and Hue and Saturation. Let's increase just the saturation on the eggplant because I'm quite happy with the colour in there, and maybe we want it to be a bit cooler. So go back towards the green. Okay, once you've done this with all of yours, again, if you're working on a different one, go to a different layer here, and you can adjust them as well. If you see that you've moved this dotted line or you've got something selected you don't want selected, just press Command D or Control D for a PC. So once you have all of your vegetables done and you're happy with the colouring, what we're going to do now is save these in each of their own files, just so it's going to be easier to drop them into Illustrator. And if you have multiple copies of a vegetable because you want to cluster them, it'll be nice and easy. So I want to remove the little eye so it's not visible and just have the single layer that I can see. And I want to include, we'll go File, Export as, and my window's just opened on another screen, so excuse me, I'll just bring it over so we can see. So we want to make sure it's not a JPEG because we can see we get that white background. I want to change it to a PNG. And you can see that little thing is processing and it's removed the background. So when I put this in as a layer in Illustrator, we're not going to have all the background, it's just going to be this bit. There's a lot of extra space, that's fine. When we're in Illustrator, we can crop it in, and it's quite easy to do that there. So then we'll export. Wherever you're saving this, I suggest making a folder specifically. So Veg Forward is the new folder, because that's the project we're working on. I'm going to make another new folder, and I am going to name it just Veg Scans. So then I can keep all of them together here. I am going to change the name to something that's a little bit easier. So because I have an eggplant, I might just say eggplant to make it nice and easy, and save it in there. And then what you would do is get rid of the visibility on that, open up your next vegetable, and then you would go through the same process and save them all in the same place and save them as PNG to keep them secure. I hope that was helpful, and I'll have another video for what to do in Illustrator. Bye.